Today is early July and it is a whopping 68 degrees. Ooh, this is why I just cannot stand the climate here at all, let alone it's windy outside. July should be mid 80s, 90s, low of 70, maybe high 60s, humid. Yeah, and before the comments fill up where people say they hate the heat and all that, whatever, I'm not shoveling snow, I hate it, but I have to. And also, my situation dictates that I live in this climate. It won't be forever, I can tell you that. So with that in mind, I just came to the location here and it was closed up, right? And it's, yeah, that just dropped a degree. That's just atrocious. The home was closed up, so it actually is warm inside here. It's definitely warmer inside here than it is outside. So I wanted to crank up the fans a little bit. It's also very windy. I'm standing here and I can just feel the breeze coming in. If this was like October, I would be fine, but I'm not. So I thought I'd do a quick video of the fans running while I just kind of get the air moving a little bit here, and then I'll probably shut them down. So here's the Edison Thin Light, and that was a chair I bumped into, making that noise, not me. Here we go. So this is moving the air across the kitchen. Typically, when the air conditioning's on, I have it turned around the other way, pulling the air towards the other side of the kitchen. But that paper towel is actually blowing from this outside. A little blurry. Sorry about that. So we have that one. I still have the vintage McCoy-Edison going. I was gonna have this running for like, just kind of have it out here for kicks for about a week or so, but I'm really getting used to it. Not that you have to get used to this. I'm just really loving it, and it needs work. You can see the kind of rust on the bottom. Probably needs to be oiled. But when I'm not around and other family members are here, I expect them to turn it off, but instead it's actually, while I run it on low, they tend to run it on medium or high, so I guess they like it too, which is cool. So that, whoa, I'll knock it over. That is pulling in some cool air from the front here. That is off. Obviously no air conditioning day today. And then, as I've pointed out in other videos on this fan, I just love how this looks. Really cool. Got the old Toastmaster. I feel like this is like the classic Toastmaster. Just because these were everywhere for a while, and the brownish color. Yep, I have it in exhaust. When it's not blazing hot and I just remove the air through the home, no exhaust. You can see there was something here just moving around, so I can feel the air moving in this room. Every time I turn away with the camera, those pictures on the wall start. So you can also see that's off. We've documented that thing. This room is where I use as my office. It's like a den, and so naturally where I spend most of my time throughout the working days when I'm in this location. For those of you who know me, know the channel, it's fitting that I have my all-time favorite running here. This McCoy-Edison is not, this Comfort fan is not one of the three original ones that were in my family when I was a kid. Those are long since gone. They bit the dust in the early 90s. I was a young boy, didn't know how to repair them. So if you will, kind of like the reboot when eBays of the world came around and everything. This is my second Comfort fan since I've kind of had a renaissance with these about 10-15 years ago. The first one I've done videos on where I have a problem with the blades slipping. I have a tip on how to repair that, and I'm going to work on that hopefully in the coming weeks and do a video on that. So this is my second McCoy-Edison out of many Comfort fans I have, and I just like to acquire them. I love them. Try to keep them, every single one of them, in service. I just have one right now that's not in service, which I just talked about. So here it is. It's looking good. Well, I'm talking about fans running. This is not a fan. This is obviously off today. It says it's 72 in here. So as I said, it's a little stuffy. When I opened this door this morning, it was stuffy. The windows were closed because nobody was here. So with this here, this ghetto setup, I have just, you pull the top open. So I'm about to walk through the hallway and see, look, it is pulling air through the hallway, these fans, and creating a breeze. So maybe if I'm quiet when I walk through, maybe you can hear it, I don't know. No, you can't really hear it. This is one of the bedrooms. I've shown this fan before. This fan is about 12 years old. Feel free to school me in the comments on ceiling fans, because as I've stated before in some of my ceiling fan videos, I am an absolute novice. I'm guessing this is a Home Depot or Lowe's. So what would that mean, Hampton Bay? Maybe. I gotta say, since it's been here, it hasn't caused a problem. It's okay. Certainly been in places where what I've noticed is vintage ceiling fans moving way more air and seemingly more powerful. But when you're laying there at night on a hot night and you don't have, this room doesn't have AC right now, it probably will. I have to service a unit in the next day or so. But regardless, when you're laying there at night, you can feel the breeze. It's throwing off, so not horrible. And then, well, I've talked about this fan more times than I care to. The infamous black 3733 reboot. Did the video on the first one of the unboxing. That was a complete disaster with the balance issue. And I tried and I tried and I tried to rebalance those blades, and I just simply could not. Call it inexperience with balancing blades. So this is, I did a video on this second 3733 after I returned the other one. Goes against everything I stand for. Because you know a returned box fan means it goes in the garbage pile. I almost wish I kind of kept it as a parts fan. And, you know, did I really need to replace it with yet another fan? No. It might have been more valuable to me as a parts fan. Could have had some fun with the grills on a regular 3733. Kind of made like a custom colored fan. Kind of like my son did his custom cool color fan. So it's running on exhaust, pulling cool air up from downstairs and hopefully exhausting out the hot air that was in here. Typically I only have these on intake when there's air conditioners on in the rest of the house, so we're not pulling cool air out the window. But on days like today where it's a little cooler, we just want to move the air through the house, fresh air, I have it on exhaust. Oh, and one other thing to note, I walked away and realized I didn't talk about it. The way these windows are, these just stupidly skinny fans. I mean, it looks wide in the camera. See imperfections in the middle. Junk. Whatever. I have found with a book, a hardbound book, in these 3733s where those feet lock in, it puts this in like rock solid, sturdy position. When you have it on intake and the feet are like in the back of the window and you still have a book there, it's not as quite as secure. Hear the wind blowing on it. This thing's not going to move like this. So this is actually dumb luck how that worked out. I used to. So okay, I should tell this story. These windows used to be much smaller. These windows were this size. Now, you cannot fit a box fan in these windows. So the windows in this room were that size, except for that window, which goes over the bed. The other room, my son's room, all three windows were the same size. So in 2019, this home was built in 1978, had the original Anderson windows in it. 2019, the window that was here had a crack in the panes. Some windows just wouldn't lock anymore. Some wouldn't stay open all the way. They just had run their course. So in 2019, I ponied up and we did new construction windows all the way around. That was expensive, because if you've seen some of the windows in this house, not that this is a really large house, but it's expensive. Needless to say, these windows are the same size as the downstairs window. So where you saw that McCoy-Edison in my den and that Toastmaster in my daughter's. I wanted larger windows in the back of this house. They wouldn't fit in the front because they're, I don't know, they could have fit in the dormers, but at least in the back. So it's hard for me to picture that these windows were smaller. A huge reason for that is I wanted to be able to fit a box fan in these windows. What I used to do is, it's obviously patched and gone, or actually the window's wider so it wouldn't be even here. I had almost like S hooks or like I hooks, like the circle screwed in on either side, and I would take a thin bungee and I'd run it across, and it was great because you just undo the bungee and it actually looked pretty clean. Because the top of the fan would not fit. So if anyone's looking for a recommendation, I've seen YouTube videos where guys have done wire across. That works pretty well as well. But the bungee's kind of nice because it's a temporary but yet permanent because you screw those hooks in. I don't do it on the framing of the woodwork here, but find the stud right into the wood. At the end of the season, you just take the bungee off, leave the hooks there. If you have curtains, it hides the hooks. So a little tip, in fact, one of the bungees still might be hanging here. Yeah. Nope, that's a cord to a hairdryer, not my hair. Anyway, that's the tip of the day. My son's air conditioner, obviously off. If you follow the channel, you've been in this room before. We did a tour of this room. I've recommended, if you haven't watched it, if you are a male between teens and grown up, you would like to tour this room. Pretty cool nostalgic stuff in this room. My son's an old soul. So his Lasco Galaxy custom cool color fan he built after saving it from the dump. I've done a video on that. I've talked about it in other videos. He's out of town. He comes back tomorrow, and I like this. So this is a Thin Light. It's a Thin Light. You can tell easily by the cabinet. There's that, and it's rounded at the top, and the switch, missing the handle, but the switch. But it's a rare translucent blade Thin Light with the metal grills on both sides. I've done a few videos on this, one with it drawing in air at night, which looks really cool because it's all blacked out. And then I just did a regular checkout video. I have this off because I realized that when it runs, it vibrates, and it's not the motor. I was screwing around with it and found out that some of these were hand loose or hand tightened, and I kind of like hand tightened them back. I've never opened this fan up. It just gets kind of fun use. My son comes home tonight from his trip, so he'll probably be like, why'd you do that? You know, even though I know he likes old fans, but he'll want to use his. And then you could clearly whoever I bought this from has extra hardware in there. I haven't pulled that out, which I should, because every once in a while a blade whacks it. So here we go. So I'll just leave it on low. So you can hear the fire. oil it before I really run it much as well. So we'll just leave it on low for now. You can hear the wind pushing on it, pushing on these thin little banana blades. Little personal fan he keeps on his work table. While it's cool out today and windy, it's at least very sunny. So here's the McCoy-Edison in my den. If this was in the front of the house, you wouldn't even see it. Might pick up the orange or reddish Edison letters, maybe, in the white, but not noticeable. Toastmaster with his classic banana blades, doing its thing. You watch that curtain so the fan. Trifecta. Light on. There's the Toastmaster. It's really quiet. I mean, it's on low and it's windy and all the way down here. Yeah, it's weird. It almost looks like there's no blades. It just looks like a cabinet. And then our buddy the Lasco. Can't see. Can't see that thing at all. That's on high. Listen how quiet that is. Thing's a wimp. Thing is a wimp. Now I know we just looked at the temperature and it said it's 68 degrees, but the sun makes it feel way warmer. Yep, and those are solar panels up there. Another video for another day. Yeah, what I talked about the windows, it's more noticeable now because we had like a crazy storm and everything's still kind of damp back here, but it won't be for long. And there they are. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I know I have a lot of fans in my collection. If anyone wants to see something running and in use in one of the windows or whatever, drop it in the comments box and we'll get it up there.